All right, so we got a 2008 Dodge Dakota. It's got a 3.7 V6 in it, and we're going to be doing an oil pan on this. As you can see, the customer is totally 100% right on this one. It's totally shot. So it is a four-wheel drive, as you can see, and we're going to be taking the oil pan out of it. Was noted that the transmission cooler lines are totally rotten on this thing, so we have to touch them, and so they are going to leak when we are done. So the customer's going to get some new lines for this, and we'll just change that as part of the job at no extra cost for sure, because we're going to be working on them anyway. So we'll get started here really shortly, and we'll do a little update video as we go along here, and capture anything that might be a surprise, or that you might find helpful as we're going through here. Just going to capture a little video up here. We're going to be taking out these transmission lines, and I just want to document the orientation of the lines. Transmission cooler lines are shot, and they need to come out anyway, so I thought I'd capture a little video on that. Okay, just doing a little progress shot here. I've got the front differential lowered down, as you can see. Basically, there's 2 bolts, 15 mils right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you've got 5, 6. So 6 bolts, and you've got this differential lowered down. You can see how much room that exposes for taking out the oil pan. So I'm just going to take off this bracket here, and then the spacer between the flex plate and the transmission will come out, and I'll get these cooler lines out of the way here, and we'll be in good shape. I'll drop the oil pan out. I just want to show you guys something here that other people have commented on. If you look at the oil pan to oil pan gasket location, just remember that the gasket needs to separate from the pan. The pan needs to separate in between, right in between here, because the oil pan gasket is a windage type of gasket. So you'll never get the oil pan off, and this is very, very stuck on here, okay? Just so you know, I'm hitting on it with a pry bar that has a striking end built onto the end of it, and I'm using a ball peen hammer to pound in between the oil pan, and the gasket. That's how tough it is. So don't be afraid of it. Just get it in between the oil pan and the gasket. Work your way all the way around the oil pan. Okay? Okay, I just wanted you to see what I was talking about there with the oil pan gasket. You've probably seen this on other videos, but just be aware that the oil pan gasket is going to stay up with the engine block until you loosen off the oil pump pickup. Okay, so the oil pump pickup bolts underneath of the oil pan gasket. So the oil pan gasket is over top of this pump pickup. Okay, so when it's bolted up under the engine, you see how that pickup bolts up underneath that windage tray. Okay, so when you drop the oil pan down, so when you get the gasket to separate, that gasket surface to separate with the engine oil pan, okay, when you get that to separate, the oil pan's gonna drop down enough for you to get these 2 nuts and 1 bolt off. So there's 2 nuts on the bottom of this, and there's 1 bolt that goes up through here in the oil pump pickup, and then the whole thing just drops right out. So you'll see up there, that's what I'm talking about. See the 2 studs sticking down? That's where the 2 13mm head bolts go. And then up the front, there's 1 bolt where the pickup tube goes. Okay, I'll show you those right here. So there's the 1 bolt that's in the front, and these are the 2 nuts that are in the back. Okay, so you got these 3 holding up that oil pump pickup tube, and once you get that out, the oil pan drops right down. Try and get a picture up in there so you can see what that looks like. Don't know if you can see it or not. I'll try and get the light up in there so you can see that hole, and then the threaded hole for that 13mm head bolt. Okay, lots of room though, no problem. It basically drops right out. Okay, and notice we've just dropped the front axle down. Okay, and it's just gingerly sitting on the half shafts. Okay, not hurting anything, just sitting on the shafts, no tension on the seal, no nothing. Okay, so we're going to be replacing these cooler lines because they're quite rotten up there. So I said I'd do it while I'm here. Okay, talk to you later. So we got this all buttoned up and got the new oil pan on here. New cooler lines as well. Customer went and got some new cooler lines for it, which was a great idea. Now he doesn't have to worry about it. Looks good. I don't see any leaks. No leak from the filter. No leaks from the transmission lines. Everything looks good.